You guys can tell there's a doe kind of right straight in front of me there. See if I can get a little. There's about 3 of them there. I don't know if you guys caught that one just kind of going crazy across the road there. Another one right there. Another one right there. So about 3 or 4 deer during my run there. Pretty cool. Welcome to the channel. This is Andrew with Running with Dr. Andrew. Today's September 22nd. It's Wednesday and it's midweek training talk. I don't know if you guys saw that. I finally got some good video of some deer. They were just going across the road crazy there. So I finally got my camera out to videotape them. Definitely, hopefully get some more of them, about 3 or 4 of them just kind of darting across the road there. So hopefully maybe I'll see more this evening there too. They're kind of stirring. It's nice and cool, so they like that cool weather. And pretty cool. I got a video for you guys. I'm pretty excited. Finally got some deer recorded for everyone. So this evening I'm doing a 6-mile easy run just after my tempo run, just to kind of take it easy a little bit and get some mileage on my legs today. And it's definitely a nice evening, nice and cool, definitely enjoying it. Got to see some wildlife, so that was pretty exciting. I think they were all does, about 3 or 4 does there. And so the bucks should be having their antlers on, so don't see any of those bucks around. It's not rut season or yet, so but that'd be pretty cool if we did see a big old buck there. See. All right, guys, and today's Wednesday, so it's midweek training talk today. And today I'd like to talk to you about driving your knees forward a little bit more while running. And so you want to make sure that you're driving that knee forward, so that way you're landing within your hips, so that way you prevent any overstriding. Now, overstriding, what that does, it puts a braking point on your knees, puts a lot of pressure on your knees and your hips and your feet and your low back. So you're going to try to prevent that. So you want to be able to kind of land within your hip distance and utilize that. And also you want to increase your frequency of stride. So if you have low frequency of stride, that means you're going to be bounding up and down more using that, rather than having increased frequency and more of a linear type of motion. So one exercise and drill that you can do is just doing some marching in place, raising, driving your knee up, making sure your shin is not pointed forward, and raising up. So that's kind of sensation I want to be able to do. Now this is going to take a little time to kind of get used to this new stride. So you want to pick, just a little bit of time each day to work on doing that type of stride and prevent you from overstriding. And again, you'll kind of notice when I'm marching and that I'm keeping a window distance between my knees. And so when you're running, to prevent any crisscross like we talked about last week, is pretend that there is a pillow or a ball between your knees. That way there's a window between it. Sometimes what happens is when people crisscross, that window between your knees is minimized. So part of this drill, you could do running in place, high knee, driving your knee, And so like for you to do is to imagine that you're kneeing a soccer ball forward, and that's going to help you drive your knees forward, if you can kind of think of that analogy. And also making sure that you're, again, keeping that window between your knees, and that's going to help you keep that symmetry that you need and prevent you from crossing over during gait. Again, crossing over can cause a lot of pain and issues, including minor aches and pains, just like Achilles tendonitis, some plantar fasciitis, runner's knee, all the things that we've talked about before in the common running injury episodes. And so you're going to also making sure that you are increasing your frequency of stride. That's going to help out. Now, don't worry about a specific number. Just think about increasing that stride, increasing more steps. Almost like if the ground is hot and you're trying to get off that hot ground as quickly as you can. And that's going to help you get your feet off, and also potentially to drive your knees forward a little bit more. Another tip that you can do too is when you're running, practicing your knee driving is like if you're running in the wind. So what you do is to lean forward like the wind's blowing into you. That's going to help you drive more and also use your glutes more. Welcome back. I got done with that 6-mile run, and then I did a kind of a 2-mile walk jog just to kind of shake out my legs and get more mileage on my legs. Definitely a very exciting night. We saw the deer, and we talked about the midweek training topics, which was making sure you're driving your knee. I think that's very important to be able to drive that knee a little bit more. Also, when I talked about leaning forward into the wind, not necessarily your trunk or just you want to lean with your ankles rather than your trunk forward. You're leaning with your ankles, so that way that helps you drive your knees more, and also helps with your glute activation. And so that will definitely help with running. I have been practicing doing that. It feels like I do and get a little bit more frequency and stride, more striking with my forefoot rather than my heel, which sometimes I think it's okay to strike with your heel as long as you're not in front of your body too far, and that causes overstriding and there's a breaking point where basically it puts pressure on your hips, knees, and low back. And so you're trying to prevent doing that. And so by you striking more on your forefoot, right at your hips, is very important. So that marching activity will help you retrain that. You don't have to do that throughout the run. And when you're practicing doing that, eventually that will be in habit, and you'll be able to continually do that throughout your run. And also making sure that your knees are separated when you're running. So if you feel like your knees are rubbing while you're running, you know that you're probably crossing over, or if your arms are crossing over when you're running. So you make sure your arms are not crossing over your midline. If they are, most likely your hips are going across as well. And so you just want to make sure, make those little adjustments that you can, and drive those knees a little bit better, and maybe pick a certain amount of time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever it is that you can do during a run to practice doing form, and eventually you'll catch on. Definitely this will be a habit, and you'll notice because you'll have less pain hopefully and more efficiency with running. And so that everybody wants more efficiency with running, especially when you want better times or whatever, trying to get personal records. Also, you're going to be able to run with less injuries and be able to continually to improve on your sport, as well as continually to do your sport throughout your life. The running you can do for a very long time. If you and we're smart about running, I think that definitely will help out with the longevity of running there. And so this ends this video. So hope everyone keeps safe, keep running, and we'll see you next time.